Welcome to Hartman Math. This is lesson 3.8, completing the square. So example number 1. Our directions for all these are going to be find the value of c that makes the expression a perfect square trinomial. After you've done that, write the expression as a binomial square. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at the b value here, which is the coefficient of x, which is positive 8. We're going to take half of that, or divide it by 2. That's the same thing. So we're going to take positive 8, we're going to divide it by 2. We get positive 4. Sign is important, so it's positive 4. Next step in the two-step process for finding c, square that number. Positive 4 squared is 16. C equals 16. That's the first part answer. Now, we have to write the original expression as the square of a binomial. So we could say this is 16. We could factor this expression if we wanted to, but there's a shortcut. Okay? A binomial squared, so it's got two terms. To get x squared, we have to square x. So it's going to be parentheses x, and then this number right here, whatever we squared to get the c value. Sign is important. That goes next to the x in the parentheses, and it is squared, so an exponent on the outside. So that's the form that it's going to be in. This is the number that we're going to use. Second part answer, x plus 4 squared. If we work this out, we would get x squared plus 8x plus 16. All right, go ahead and try this one. Find the value of c that makes the expression a perfect square trinomial. Then write it as a binomial squared. Pause here as you work through. First thing is to take half of the negative 18, or divide negative 18 by 2. It's negative 9. Sign is important. Step 2 in the two-step process for finding c is to square that number. Negative 9 times negative 9 is positive 81. C is 81. Second part, binomial squared, x minus 9 in parentheses squared. Example number 2, directions. Find the value of c that makes the expression a perfect square trinomial. Then write it as a binomial squared. We're going to take our b value, negative 7. We're going to take half of that, or divide it by 2. It's a fraction. Don't go decimal. It's a fraction. Now we're going to square that. As it's a fraction, rule is we would just square numerator and denominator. We would get positive 49 over 4. That's c. Now write it as a binomial squared. Second part. X. There it is. Let's just move the minus out in front. So minus 7 halves squared. All right, you try this one. Directions. Find the value of c that makes the expression a perfect square trinomial. Then write as a binomial square. Pause here until you got it. Ooh, a little bit tricky on this one. The b value is an invisible 1. We're going to take half of that. We're going to divide that by 2. Now square it. Top and bottom. Careful. For whatever reason, a lot of people square the top one and don't get it right. 1 squared is 1. So we get 1/4. That's C. Box that. That's the answer. Second part, parentheses, x. There it is right there. What did we square? Plus 1/2 squared. That's it for today. I'll see you next time.